eFishin friends, welcome back to eFishin. I'm Rodney. Today, well, I'm right here on the lake. It's the end of February, the 1st of March, and the water temperature is starting to warm up. It's up to about 47, 48 degrees, and we've had a little warming trend. So we're going to come out here, we're going to throw some rattle baits, and we're going to talk about those a little bit today and some things I look for and at this time of year. So y'all hang on, let's go fishing. So the first thing I like to do for this pattern is, well, I like to find a couple of warm nights and a warming trend. So let's say you've got a warming trend where it's getting into the 60s, but the thing is, you got a couple of nights where the lows are staying in the 50s. That's one time that this pattern can really come on strong. So look for those warming trends in the spring. Lost that one. The next thing is if you get bit, get right back into where you got bit at, because sometimes they'll really gang up and it might be just a small area that they're on. There we go. About that. So the third thing you're going to look for in this spring pattern is, well, it's the time of day. This isn't a morning bite. This is an afternoon bite. You need to let that water warm up, and it might only warm up a degree or two in the afternoon, but that's what you're looking for, is that little bit of warm up in the afternoon. About that one. Alright, there we go. Let's let this thing go. So the last thing really to keep in mind here is the retrieve. Now when you throw your bait out there, and you don't want to just burn that thing back to the boat. You want to let that thing sink down to the bottom and then snap it up off the bottom and then let it fall back down to the bottom. And you're going to do this all the way back to the boat, and sometimes they'll just tick it and it'll be just like a real light tick, and then the other times they'll just like slam that thing. So just pay attention to what's going on. Ooh, how about that? There we go. Another one on the red-eye shad. I guess the last thing I'll say about this is the bait I'm using is a 1/2 ounce Strike King red-eye shad, and I really like this brown and orange crawdad color that they have, especially when the water's got just a little bit of stain to it and it's not too bad. But then if it gets really stained, then sometimes I'll go on to the red colored ones, and they seem to work. Just use those crawdad colors when you're popping them up off the bottom. Where's another little one? Ooh, that's a little one. The extra little tip I'm going to give you about fishing this red eye shad and rattle bait, you could use a rattle trap too, but it's the depth of the water that I'm fishing in. So this spring tactic is a shallow water pattern. So my boat's sitting in 5 to 7 feet of water, and I'm throwing up in there to a foot, 2 foot of water, and I'm letting that bait, when I throw it out there, I'm letting it hit the bottom, and then I'm just snapping it up off the bottom. Now this is a lot like fishing a blade bait that you'd fish in the wintertime for smallmouth on like Dale Hollow or Cumberland or something like that. But it's early spring, and since it's shallow water, this red eye shad really helps doing that, because you can snap it up and it doesn't just rocket back down to the bottom. It's kind of a slow fall back down to the bottom, and that's what they like. Right there. Whew. Got some spots on him.